Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with Goldie Mariola. She is part of the Crestone Energy Fair team. She is running ongoing education before the fair, and she also runs the home tours. If you've ever been on some of those alternative builds out at the Crestone Energy Fair, we've got a couple things to discuss with you tonight. The first is that the Energy Fair is not only the longest running sustainability fair on Earth, but it is now going to be even longer than normal. It's going to be extended 4 days, Thursday through Sunday, with an opening potluck and a video screening. But what we're here to talk about is really not the Energy Fair, but we can chime in on that. We're here to talk about your ongoing education series, which can bring anybody that's into natural building or alternative construction into the fray and start to learn some skills. Is that correct? And welcome to the show.
Thanks, Simon. Yeah, it's nice to be here with you. And definitely think some people in your audience might be interested in some of the awesome workshops that we have going on this summer. We're really grateful we got a grant from the county to help supplement and bring in some really amazing teachers this year. So this is the 4th year of the ongoing education series. And in the past, we've focused on local teachers and experts, but this year we're bringing in people from all over. So we have a really awesome lineup in natural plasters, Earthbag, greenhouse building, and high desert permaculture. So there's kind of something for everyone in there, and definitely just a lot to learn. And it's a way to kind of supplement what we highlight at the fair, because during the Energy Fair, we have a lot going on, and sometimes you can't really take a deep dive into a lot of these topics. So the ongoing education series lets people really, spend a whole weekend immersed in these different kinds of building modalities and lifestyle practices. So, yeah.
Awesome. So it's going to kick off at the end of May?
Yeah. So the first workshop that we have is May 30th through June 1st. It's a 3-day weekend workshop with this woman, Athena Steen. She is one of the founders of the Canelo Project in Arizona, and she is just a master of natural plasters, and her work is incredible. If you don't already know about her, she's doing really amazing work. They run basically a workshop school on their property where they're just constantly building structures and teaching people how to finish in natural plasters. They do a lot of earth and floor workshops, and just everything they do is so artistic. Their whole family is into this plastering lifestyle, and they offer some really amazing courses at their property, but we're getting Athena to come to Crestone. So all the workshops are in Crestone at various people's houses. So the really cool thing, so Athena's workshop is going to focus on how to do natural plaster, but especially on to drywall, that's going to be something that's new for me, actually, because we have some friends that are doing like a hybrid house. They're borrowing some of the natural and alternative techniques, but they're also doing some things more conventionally and using drywall. And so I think learning how to do natural plaster onto drywall is just like a great way to eliminate the need for paint and like VOCs in your home, and to still get a very like grounding earthen finish, even if you want to do a more conventional structure of your home. So that workshop is just going to be so incredible. Athena's like a wealth of knowledge. She's written books on, how to do plasters. So she's going to have some really awesome techniques for us, and we're going to have a great weekend spent, camping out in the San Luis Valley and right next to the hot springs. So there's going to be a lot of good times.
Yeah, so they do make safe VOC free paint now, but to buy a single gallon, it's approaching $100 for the good stuff, which is really not cost effective if you're painting a whole house. Now, when we're talking about natural plasters, if you don't know out there, all you need is a source of mud, for goodness sakes, and sand, and you can go out and you can be harvesting these things on your land for free. You can learn techniques on how to settle out the different clays and the things you need to make these plasters. And plus, you're connecting with your own land and you're bringing it inside of your domicile. So it kicks the inside with the outside, and it's free. It only costs the sweat equity involved, plus maybe a few additives or some other things they may add to these plasters. So I recommend you go out and check that out. Now, you say it's all weekend. Does it cost money? How does it work?
Yeah, so that one is a Friday, Saturday, Sunday workshop. Lunch is included all days, and it does cost money. We have different tiers in place, so you can select, kind of like the lower end if you're not feeling very financially abundant. We've got the middle lane where you basically support yourself, and then the higher end is helping to support other people take the course. So we've got a limited number of the lower end pricing. So if you're interested at all, I would say definitely sign up now. There's only a couple spots of that left. So yeah, it's definitely worth getting in there and signing up.
Yeah, and if you're a fat cat and you want to pay for some other people to learn, you just come in and you pay at the higher tier, and you can spread the love to other people that really want to learn about these natural plasters.
Absolutely. Yep.
Now let's talk about the Earthbag greenhouse.
Yeah, that one's going to be really awesome because basically the Earthbag, and it's actually going to be, we're filling the bags with scoria. So scoria is like lava rock. It's a local product here. Volcanic rock, it's like the porous reddish rock. And so we'll be filling the bags with scoria, which is actually a lot easier than doing it with sand or dirt because it's lighter. It'll go faster. And anyways, we're doing Earthbag foundation for a geodesic dome greenhouse. So that's going to be the basics, and we're going to really focus on how to do foundations the right way because there's some specific techniques that you'll want to put in place if you're supporting a building with these earth bags. And so that's actually being taught by one of our locals here, Dana Oglesby. And Dana runs the volunteers for the Crestone Energy Fair. So Dana's got a bunch of projects going on and has been building 3 houses here in Crestone now. So there's a lot of info and a wealth of knowledge in Dana's brain. So
Now, Earthbag is really an interesting way to build. It's like building with masonry. The only difference is you don't need a lot of skill. The only skill you need to know is how to fill a bag and tie it. And then after that, it's pretty simple. The stacking technique, some people use like barbed wire to keep it in place, but this is not a thing that needs like advanced science. Once you learn how to do it, you can then, from the basic knowledge of Earthbag building, you can go on your own tangent and start to experiment in your own ways.
yeah.
What's great about earth bags is that if you buy the bags, the more you buy, the cheaper they get. I think about 8 years ago, I bought 5,000 bags and they just cost a few, maybe like 10 cents a bag. They're real cheap. And when you compare them to like concrete or cinder block, it's literally a tenth of the price or even less.
Yeah, absolutely. They make a lot of sense, especially, yeah, if, like you said, if you have the labor and, you just got to learn a quick technique and then it's basically just muscle from there. So,
well, and the cool thing is you can move with these natural lines. You can make wavy walls. Nothing has a corner with earth bags. I mean, I guess you could do corners with earth bags, but it wouldn't be as easy as just going with the flow and doing something with natural curves. And we're going to be incorporating earth bags into one of our larger greenhouses that is earth tubed, and we're going to use it to separate a natural bathroom off where you can shower in like this jungle area where all of your wastewater will go into the greenhouse while you're looking at the greenhouse while you're showering.
wow, that's so awesome. And yeah, that's a really good point. Like they work really well for shaping, like if you have a geodome already that you have to fit to size, like earth bags can be shaped to anything they need to be.
Yeah, and they also provide massive amounts of thermal mass for retaining heat and also keeping out the cold. The R value is spectacular, especially if you use the large bags. So you're looking at like an R50 product that you just fill with dirt. And in your case, how did you pronounce it?
Scoria or lava
It's
rock.
actually pronounced scoria,
Scoria.
geologically speaking.
Okay.
Yeah. So the inflection is on the O, like scoring a win, scoria.
Okay. Gotcha.
And that's because it was easy to fall and scoria your knee on the scoria.
It is. Yeah, that stuff is pokey. It's like walking on Legos if you've ever stepped on it.
Yeah.
All right. So
Okay, so
scoria.
that workshop is 2 weeks after the plaster. And then about 2 weeks later, right before the fair kicks off, we've got the high desert permaculture with Jerome. Now, this dude is famous. He wrote the book on permaculture living up in, I think he might be close to 9,000 feet up in northern Colorado. He's got like saunas and hot tubs in one of his greenhouses. The guy's a legend.
He absolutely is. Yeah. He literally did write the book on the forest garden greenhouse. And this guy, I took his permaculture course like probably 15 years ago. And he's one of those people that you just kind of like absorb knowledge from just from being around him. And he has this in like endless supply of energy, especially when it comes to plants and gardening and sustainability. So we are super excited to get him to be coming to Crestone. And he's going to be focusing a lot on soil building because that's something we really need here. Like we're basically in a sand and rock desert. So soil building is something that like everyone can benefit in Crestone at least, and really probably anywhere. But he's got a ton of information on that. He's going to be bringing some worms for people if they want to, inoculate their gardens with worms or start a worm vermicompost. He's going to be bringing starts of a lot of his plants, and yeah, that's going to be 2 full days of just full on like nonstop knowledge. So that's going to be a really awesome one as well.
Yeah,
And
and
that one,
it's best to let nature take over and use permaculture principles. We use some of his techniques to start some of the beds we have in our permaculture greenhouses. We inoculated them with some red wigglers. Right now, I probably have 100 million worms in one of my greenhouses. It is all worms. By the end of the winter into the spring here, when you rip it out or you chop and drop and do whatever you have to do, I don't have soil anymore. It's just pure vermicompost. Everything gets composted in the winter by these worms just doing their magic. And there's just so many. I think I might have to remove some because it's like my beds are all worms, which is beautiful. You can then, if you have that many worms, bring them outside and put them in your actual garden and spread the love. I'm
right? Yeah,
sure he'll be talking about
friends.
sheet mulching and cover crops, as well as vermicompost. But there's lots of simple stuff you can do. Like for years, everyone's been bagging up their grass clippings and their leaves or their pine needles, and they put them on the curb to get taken away. You're killing yourself. You're losing money. You're losing free resources, and we really need to think in a different direction here.
Yeah, I totally agree. It always kills me when I see all the grass clippings. Of course, if they're sprayed with stuff, you don't really want them. But yeah, it's crazy to me that we throw this like really gold into the landfill. So
All right, cool. So you've got these three awesome ongoing education classes. Uh, who do they benefit? Does some of this money go to the energy fair, or does it benefit the person doing the presentation? How does it work?
yeah, yeah. So we are going to be doing these courses at people's homes, and so it's a win-win-win. So the people that are hosting the courses at their homes are getting work done on their place. The people that are participating are learning a bunch, and the fee it gets split up, but the profits get split between instructors and the Crestone Energy Fair. So it's definitely a fundraiser for us, and all of the money just kind of gets circled back into making this program even better and better. So yeah, it's a really good cause and a fun way to spend a weekend in the summer.
Right. So if you're looking for some things to do this summer, if you're taking a vacation, why not take a learning vacation where you can give back to the community, learn some skills, and help the Crestone Energy Fair move forward and all of the things happening in the San Luis Valley to help people learn how to be more sustainable with the earth, how to be reusing natural products in their building schemes, and how to be growing their own food pesticide free in abundance. Because the basis of permaculture is once you develop these systems, they improve upon themselves. And the longer they continue to grow, the better the result is.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So, can you tell our listeners a little bit about the Energy Fair this year, the dates, maybe,
Yeah.
and what they can do if they want to volunteer or get involved?
Yeah. So we, like we said, have expanded the Energy Fair. This year it's going to be a Thursday evening opening with dinner and a movie in the park. And then we have a full program for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So those days are going to be filled with demonstrations, speakers, panels, all the good stuff. And that's September 11th is the Thursday, and it runs through the 14th, the Sunday, September 11th through 14th. And we have the home tours going on during that time. We've got demonstrations happening at our little demonstration site that we're building a shed on using all different types of alternative building methods. We're going to have activations at booths like yours, Diamond. Yours was a huge hit last year. We're going to have amazing speakers. We haven't announced yet who it's going to be, so stay tuned for that. But our theme this year is nurturing resilience. And so we're really focusing on how to foster the lifestyles, the community, and the building practices that are going to make us more resilient in the end. Because, you know, when you live in a tiny town at the end of the road, we really have to lean on each other. So everything that we're doing this year, including the workshops, is focusing on just how can we really support each other in becoming more resilient. So there's going to be some speakers of people who have been kind of pioneering that space for a really long time in this valley, as well as newer people that have come in with really innovative technologies to help us move in that right direction.
Well, it sounds like an amazing group of events, starting with the ongoing education. Well, actually, it all kicks off the second week of April with the San Luis Valley Seed Exchange. That event is getting bigger and bigger each year. Everything is growing. Then the Seed Exchange is followed up by a summer of ongoing education in natural building and permaculture. And then it all culminates in the fall at the Crestone Energy Fair, where all of these things come together, the seeds, the knowledge, the natural building, sustainability, and this year, resilience, which in my opinion means that you have to be here to build the community that we need to help others achieve their goals. There's no way you're going to be doing this natural plastering and on a whole house with you alone. You need a group of friends to get together to get it done. And then what you got there is some leverage with your friends that helped out. And then you pass it along, right? They came to help you, you go to help them. And it just whispers down the lane.
Totally. Yeah. We're really into that kind of circular economy here. So everything you help out with ends up coming back to you, hopefully. And I'm really glad you mentioned the seed exchange. And both of these events are totally free. So if anyone is interested in coming and kind of if you want to volunteer and really get involved more with the community, there's everyone that organizes both of these events is totally incredible. So these are humans that you definitely want to make connections with. So I highly recommend coming out and checking it out if you haven't yet. Oh. Diamond, I cannot hear you. Sorry.
Okay, so we've got two awesome events for free, the San Luis Valley Seed Exchange, and then we've got ongoing education in the summer, which requires a donation in order to get involved, but you're learning tangible skills, and at the prices that you have to pay, It pales in comparison to any other type of permaculture institute or any other thing you could get. You're going to be paying $500, $1,000 for these workshops anywhere else, and so it's highly affordable. And then at the end of the summer, we've got the Crestone Energy Fair, now a 4-day free event. Mind blown. It's like a whole festival for free, and that is unheard of. There are places to stay cheap in Crestone. If you volunteer, you're going to hook up with people that may let you sleep in their yard. If you get involved, you're going to be taken care of. That's just the way it works in the Valley.
Yep, definitely. We're going to feed you. Everyone that volunteers gets free meal tickets. There's camping. And I mean, we've said this before on other podcasts of yours, but this event is really for everyone in the family. We have the youth village for the kids, and just there's something for everyone to do. We've got movement in the wellness village and tons of knowledge just coming out.
Yeah, go get it. We've got performers, free yoga, the pancake breakfast. It goes on and on. It's a tradition you can't miss. If you're in the San Luis Valley and you've never been because of one thing or another, drop all your preconceptions, get out to Crestone, get out to the Seed Exchange, join one of these ongoing education programs, and learn to think outside of the box. Learn to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Get outside. And what happens when you get to the energy fair is the whole weekend is turmoil. You're speaking with so many people. It's conversation. It's exhausting. You don't even have time to do anything. It's all over. And you're like, oh my God, I only got to 5% of this or that.
Yeah, totally. And that's kind of why we decided to add another day, because we felt that way too. Like, even as the organizers, there's always more than you could ever possibly see. So, yeah.
So be a part of the change you want to see. Join the ongoing education. Join us at the San Luis Valley Seed Exchange and come out to the Crestone Energy Fair. Goldie, you've been working tirelessly on all this. You built your own house. You're one of the people that made an Earthship, and you represent. We appreciate you, and we appreciate all the people on the other side of the Continental Divide. Thank you for coming out and shouting out all your stuff.
Yeah, thank you, Diamond. I'll see you at the Seed Exchange.
All right. It's just a few weeks coming up soon. Be safe. We love you.